Hello, all my friends out in TV land. This is Senior Issues, etc. I'm your host, Vita Verdon, and thank you for watching the show today and bringing us into your home. Now, you know I'm always looking out for you guys. We've been friends for a long time, so I'm always trying to bring the latest and what's important in our community. And the guest that I have with us today has something important to say to all of us. Now, I usually go out scouting, but I must say that I didn't find her, she found me. And when I heard what she had to say, I'm so glad that she found me, because this is something that you all need to hear, that she has founded a really good foundation. So hurry up, get your coffee, get your drink, sit down, bring your paper and pencil, and this one's for you. You have to pay attention because she's got a lot of information for you. And get your paper and pencil. And I'd like you to give a warm welcome to Barbara Paget. It's so nice to have you here today.
Thank you.
And what she has is she has a foundation. It's Cancer Survivor Beauty and Support Day. And we're going to find out, I know what you like. You like to find out a little bit about her. So she's going to give you some, they want to know the goods on you a little bit, not too much, but just enough. And then you're going to tell them what you have brought forward. And I think it's from 2003, is that correct?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
So just look right into that camera and tell them about yourself, Barbara.
Well, to begin with, I want to thank you, because I did come to you, and I appreciate that you wanted to have me on your show. I truly appreciate it. I'm a Chicago girl, born and raised in Chicago, and other than going away to school, I have lived here. I live in the suburbs with my husband. We're married over 50 years. And our children, we are very lucky. They live down the street from us. We have 4 fabulous grandchildren who range in age. The oldest is 20 and became a junior in college this week. And the youngest one will be starting junior high school in the fall. And since I'm a young person, I've done a tremendous amount of charity work and volunteering. And there is a difference, because in charity work, it involves raising money.
Yes.
And in volunteering, it's simply giving of yourself. And I've, as a teenager, went around raising money for charities. I didn't even understand what the diseases were, but I just felt like I would raise money for it. And way back in 1995, I became a volunteer at Highland Park Hospital. And my volunteering took me into the breast center that was developed by and directed by a doctor who himself was a cancer survivor.
The doctor himself?
The doctor himself was a cancer survivor from the time he was 28 years old. And at 29, with 2 small children, he was in chemotherapy every week and did his residency that way. And he beat the odds, and he lived for almost 30 years. He was given a 5% chance.
Uh-huh.
And he based his own practice on his own experience, and so the women adored him. And when he passed away, I felt that he should be honored.
His legacy.
In some way. And
because he had gone through the good fight.
He went
and
through
that is a
quite
battle.
a good fight. But at the end,
Uh-huh.
when he became ill, he was very ill for about, I don't remember, a year and a half. And when he passed away, I wanted to do something, and with the help of one of his patients, who was head of the foundation at the hospital at the time, we did a little fundraising, and for a couple of years, I would have a complimentary program once a year with a speaker who had written a book, and it dealt with breast cancer. And then one day I was watching TV, and the person talked about a spa in Northern California where so many of their clients were being diagnosed with cancer. they decided to have a spa day for them. And I have to tell you, they do something every day now.
And was that the birth then?
That was the birth of the idea
That was
for
the
me.
birth.
That
That's
was.
interesting to hear that, how something comes about.
And
That's when you caught it, the vision, huh?
And well, I thought about where I go to the beauty shop, and when a long-standing client is diagnosed, it's what should we do? What can we do? And I thought, this is what you can do. So my original thought was that would be a day when beauty shops would invite their clients for a complimentary service, and it should be up to each beauty place what they should offer.
Well,
So-
how did you put it together? Did you see it as one piece, or did you start it like one piece at a time?
I never thought of it being in more than one salon.
Oh, you
It
never thought
never, I didn't have that vision.
Oh, but you
It
had
was
a
just how nice to have it in Highland Park,
right.
because
You just
it
saw it
was
as a little
more
local
of
thing.
what I had done for the doctor.
I see.
And we put up a little sign,
Uh-huh.
and we had a waiting list. And the next year, I said, can we do it again? Of course.
Well, and when you put up the sign, let me ask you a couple of questions. And the waiting list, did you get an immediate response?
Immediate response from clients right at that spa.
Uh-huh.
And then I went to Pioneer Press
Okay.
to a woman named Dorothy Andres,
Uh-huh.
who just totally got what I wanted to express.
She caught it.
She just caught it, and she wrote a beautiful article. And then we started getting people from elsewhere who read about it in the Pioneer
started
Press.
spreading.
Because when an article is written and other locales catch on, they publish it. After,
When it's a good thing,
it's a good thing.
it spreads easily.
That's
right?
exactly right.
It
When
catches,
it's good,
yeah.
it's good.
When it's good, it's good.
And after 3 years, I felt that it should get a little bit of political support.
Well, let me ask you something. Now, when you started, because I have the same story from how I started. I had a little vision, and as I grew, my vision enlarged. But now, were you just in the beginning? My question is, was it just female, or was it female and male?
I didn't care. What was important to me was that it was for any cancer
But
survivor.
did you get males and just right from the beginning?
Right at the beginning, no. And I still don't get a lot of men taking part.
But it is caught on.
It's caught on.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I wanted to
I
bring
have
out because I wanted to
barbershops.
let them know it's for men and women.
This is for men, women,
Right.
and children.
Okay,
And I had children.
we're going to get to that a little
absolutely.
later on.
Right.
But let's get to this first. So
Right,
go on.
right.
I don't want to interrupt your
That's
thought.
okay. So I called a woman named Terry Olean, who was
Okay.
then on the Highland Park Council.
All
I
right.
knew her mother, and I knew that she was a very qualified person for me to contact. She told me that when I called her and I started to tell her what it was about, she had to pull off and go in a parking lot because she was so taken back by what I was telling her. And through her, I expanded, and they had me come speak at their council meeting, and I thought, you know what? How can I expand it to more places? And she took me around Highland Park, so that in 2006, I now had 8 places
So it was
in
on the
Highland, around Highland Park.
go. Okay.
Well, that I felt wasn't enough.
Ah.
So I had friends send me their yellow pages from all over Illinois. And I saw great clips, great clips, great clips. And I thought, what is Great Clips? Do you know what Great Clips is?
Is it a hairdresser?
It is a walk-in
Do a
hair
haircut?
salon where no appointment, you go in. It's for men, women, and children. And I called one of them, and they say how lucky timing is. I happened to get someone answer. She said, "Why are you calling?" And when I told her, she said, "Oh, you want to speak to John Petrovich because he is the leader of all of the Illinois Great Clips." And through John, I now had about 130 places in Illinois. But some of the people that owned franchises in Illinois owned franchises elsewhere, Indiana, Wisconsin, surrounding. So I thought, wait a second, now I really need political support. And I was able, through Terry, we got an appointment with who was the United States Illinois congressman at the time, Mark Kirk. And together we formed the name Cancer Survivor Beauty and Support Day. And he then went on to become senator, and United States Congressman Mark Dole took it to Washington, and we got Resolution 494 that states that the first Tuesday in June is Cancer Survivor Beauty and Support Day. It didn't start in June. My original program was in December. I thought, what a wonderful way to start the holiday season. But if I had my program on a day, you could mark your calendar, there would be a blizzard that day.
Well, we're going to get back to it, but right now we're going to do Vita's Pearls of Wisdom. Now, the first thing that I want to announce, if this show is not seen in Highland Park, so the people, if you know people in Highland Park, they can go into seniorissuesetc.org, and it'll be up on the website. And you can check everything else on it on the news page. Now, there's a few things I like to announce. One of the things I'd like to announce is the Salvation Army of Waukegan is having Oldies in the Spring, and that is going to be a luncheon with entertainment and gifts on Friday, May 26th at 11 a.m. And the location will be 850 South Green Bay Road in Waukegan. And I'm going to give you, the tickets are $10, and I'm going to give you a telephone number. It's area code 847-336-1880. I want you to go in there and you can look it up and see the rest of it, what it'll be about, and you can call in. It's going to be a fun day. It'll be from 11 to 2 with entertainment. Now, if you go onto the website, and go onto the news page, we have some new information. And Gloria and I did a podcast on everyday law with the lawyer that does the television show Everyday Law, and he also does the radio show. So you can listen to our podcast. It's real interesting, the exchange that we have, and I think you'll find it fairly entertaining. And if you go onto the first page, because I've had people calling me on the phone to see the locations, and if you go onto the home page of our website, you'll see all the different locations, and then you'll also see the time in each location. And if you can't make any of those locations, you could always see the show on the website. Also, I've had a lot of calls on how do you get in touch with SCORE, and how do you get people to help you with your Medicare. So if you want to get in touch with SHIP, which is the organization that's a part of Medicare that will help you get your insurance plan, you can look up the shows that I have. I have approximately 50 shows online, and they have been done in a chronological order. So as you scroll down, it will give you a title, what the show is about, so you can search it out. I know I've had multiple calls on the Medicare, all the changes in Medicare and how they can get help for it. You could either talk to the organization from SHIP, which is the Senior Health Insurance Plan, or you can talk to them on the phone, or there's different locations. I know one location in Waukegan is at the Senior Center at Parkside. There's a location there. Also, there's a location in Lake Forest, at the Lake Forest Senior Center. There's a SHIP representative there. But if you just call, look up the show and call the number on the show, they will tell you your location. I don't know where you're calling from, but that should give you some help. And that's for all the people who have left a message on my email or have called me to want this information, because I know that's real important. So I think that you could, I hope you've written all this information about this Support and Beauty Day, because this is an important thing. I know that there's probably a lot of people out there that need it, and I also know there's probably a lot of different organizations that want to be a part of it. Isn't that right? And they need to have this information out. And this is the way that we get this information out. Now, this is an important thing that she's doing, and that's why it's growing so fast. And we want to be a part of it. So let's get back to what Barbara has to tell us now. Okay, so now you've got it in Washington. We left off there. Let's pick it up.
Right. Well, then what happened, it started to expand through Great Clips.
Okay.
And so one day I took a sheet of paper and I wrote down the 50 states, and I marked off the states where I had at least one place. And all of a sudden, I was national. And I only needed a place in Alaska. Then I could say I was on all 50 states. So I Googled, and I called a beauty shop, and I told her what I did. And I said, if you take part, I then can say I'm in all 50 states, and she did. And of course, since then, it has grown. And I have 2 goals every year. This event is on the first Tuesday in June. I need to reach the 350,000 plus people who are licensed in the beauty industry and in massage therapy. If everyone would open their doors to just a few people, it would really be out there. And then, of course, I want to reach the 14 plus million cancer survivors in our country so that they know about this day, which is for all cancers. And it's not a one-time thing. You can go every year. And so your viewing audience can help in so many ways. Everybody goes, even if it's for a haircut, they could go and say, would you take part? They don't have to do a lot. I don't tell any place what they should offer. They offer what they want, as much or as little, and they advertise it as much or as little as they want. And everybody knows a cancer survivor. It could be that people who are watching your show are not cancer survivors, but they know someone, and not just here.
Everybody knows somebody.
Everybody knows someone. And when they go to my website,
okay, maybe you want to give your website.
The website is Cancer Survivor Beauty and SupportDay.org.
Okay, say it again now.
Cancer Survivor Beauty and SupportDay.org. And when you go to the website, you will see the logo, and along the side, there will be a button that says Participation List. You click that button, and that will take you to the participation list, which is in alphabetical order by state. If there isn't a place near to where you live, Google, find a few places, contact me, and together I will do my very best to get a place that will celebrate the day with you.
You know what? That's good enough to repeat, you know, because if they, now what do they do if there's not a place close to them? They contact them, and they contact you through your website.
Through my website.
Okay, give the website one more time, Barbara.
Cancer Survivor Beauty and SupportDay.org. And then you will see on the side, there's all different things. You click the participation list. Now, this year, because, as I said,
When is your event?
it's the first Tuesday in June.
And where is your event?
In all these places
In
that
all
are
these
on
different places.
the participation list, thousands across the country.
Okay, so every place, location is participating on the same day.
Not necessarily.
Oh, but within the period.
Right. There
I
are
see.
there are beauty schools that do it on a
I
different
see.
day. Now, this year, my grandson, who isn't finishing his junior year of high school, contacted me, and he said that he wanted to update my website.
Okay.
And he came up with a new logo. And I said, well, I'm not going to change my logo because my logo, I've spent all this time trying to make it identifiable to
Yes.
people. But we came up with a program called Teens Informing Teens about Cancer Survivor Beauty and Support Day. And if you go to the website, on the top of the website, it says Teens Informing Teens. You click that and you will get this. And what is happening is that we are going to hopefully get the 36,000 public, private, and parochial high schools in the country to get involved. They only need a couple of kids in each school who will want to take this information, make it into posters that can go in their schools, and get the information home to their families. And in their families, there will be cancer survivors.
Now, this is also on your website.
All on the same website.
It's all on the same website.
All on the same website. And on the side of the website, you'll see this logo. But to learn about this, you go to the top of the website and click Teens Informing Teens. And if the kids will take this home to their parents, and if anyone watching this, you have grandchildren, great-grandchildren, tell them about this new program. Have them go to their principal's office and say, we want to get involved, and we want to help get this home. And if they have newsletters that go out to parents, if there's a way of blasting it to the parents, I mean, different schools do it in different ways.
You know, also, you know, there may be, besides the teens, other people that want to volunteer for you. So now what should they do? They should go onto your website, right?
They should, well, volunteering in that they
That could
want to
help
go out.
you.
They can go out and get
Right.
other places and go out and get the word out there. Now, what's happened with my website this year
Is what?
is that it is not just about that one day a year.
Okay.
Because there are places that do something all the time.
Oh.
And people should know about it.
Uh-huh.
Right now, the focus is on helping somebody who has gone through treatment. They can go get a haircut, a manicure. But what about people who are just in treatment?
Uh-huh.
And Sephora,
Uh-huh.
there are 1,000 Sephoras in the country. And they are having programs once a month where they help women with makeup. And they can contact Sephora. So if you know someone who is just in treatment, this is for them. Great Clips, there are 4,100 Great Clips in North America. Now, not all 4,100 Great Clips give a complimentary haircut to someone out of treatment on that first Tuesday in June, but they offer what's called clips of kindness. If someone is about to undergo treatment and their hair is going to come out.
Now, Barbara, let's go through a little assessment
Yes.
that we can give an overhaul plan. Now, this includes, first of all, tell our viewing audience, it includes like people in treatment, people are finished with treatment,
Yes.
all right, or if somebody knows somebody in treatment, how to contact. Okay, so we have that grouping.
Exactly. That is what's happened to my
Okay.
website. It
And-
wasn't, when you asked me when I had that first evening, I never envisioned that my website now would have all this information. There are programs for teenagers, camp programs. All of this information is on my website.
Okay, so you have that grouping. Now you have another grouping of people who want to help, who
Right.
want to volunteer.
The teenagers who will
Right?
volunteer.
And the adults who want to volunteer.
Exactly.
Or any business that wants to volunteer
Exactly.
to give some
Exactly.
kind of support and beauty program.
Right.
So
Right.
this is an assessment. And at this stage, you're only beginning. Right? Well, if you've
Well-
gone this far, it can be taken further. Now, there's something I want to personally ask you. You've accomplished so much in a short period of time because it is a good work. Now, what does it do for you? Where's your passion? What are you getting out of it? I want you to look right into that camera and say what you're getting out of it, how it has embellished your life.
Well, my husband refers to it as my other life.
Okay?
The rewards are so staggering that I cannot tell you. Obviously, it is incredibly rewarding when I call the places of beauty from the year before and they remember me. Many of them say, "We've been waiting for your phone call. We're all set. We wouldn't think of not doing it. We think it's great." So from the volunteers, the feeling is amazing. As far as the cancer survivors, I really don't know who they are, but some of them do post things on Facebook and all. And it's just a wonderful feeling that I am helping so many people. And I don't expect 14 million cancer survivors to take part in the day, but I want them to know that it's there for them. I can't cure cancer, but I can make people feel a little better. I'm sort of making a marriage between the cancer survivor
Yes, you are. You
and
have made a very
and
solid connection.
and the volunteers. And I do have people who do volunteer for me. There's a woman in Colorado who came the very first night I did this, and then they moved to Colorado, and she is in charge of about a dozen places right in Colorado she takes care of. I got a phone call last week from somebody from Cancer Wellness that's in, I believe, Northbrook, and she's doing something. So it is very wonderful, and I love the fact that it has so inspired my grandson that he has wanted to get involved, and I'm sure that my grandchildren will. I mean, there's going to be a time when it's going to have to go on to someone else in the family
Well,
to
it's our
continue.
privilege to bring this word forward.
Oh, thank you
It's our
so
privilege to have
much.
you on the show, and all the best to you. And we're going to
Thank
have you
you.
on from time to time so that we can see this thing grow. And you know what it is now? When you out there have come to the end of your line, you tie a rope and hang on. You want to know why? Because the best is yet to come. And what we want you all to do this week is catch the spirit.